With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush.
Civil Servant Employee of the Year, none other than Mr. Levi Allen.
Congratulations go out to fellow civil servant Levi Allen from the Department of Public Works, the top government employee for 2018.
Thank you so much. This means the world to me because oftentimes the work you do is out of your passion and your commitment, just as my colleagues here on the stage, and you don't take time to recognize the impact you're making. And so this is significantly important.
Now, the Deputy Governor's Awards program, now in its 6th year, took place at the Hartwell Theatre on Thursday evening. The 12 civil servants, 6 female and 6 males in the running for the top award, were all recognized as top employees of the month in 2018. Dignitaries, co-workers, friends and families offered their support to everyone, while Deputy Governor Franz Manderson talked a bit about how he came to his decision in selecting the winner.
So I have had many difficult tasks in my career, but trying to make a decision on one person this evening has been the most difficult. It has taken me 2 days. I have slept on it. I have woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning and read over the nominations again, talked about it, thought about it, and then I've made my decision. But I want everyone to know that all 12 of our monthly winners are just that. They're winners. There's really no losers tonight.
Over the next year, Mr. Allen will take part in speaking engagements within and outside the civil service. We say congratulations to the other 11 recipients of the Employee of the Month Awards, including our very own Stefan Johnson. Finally, both the Premier and His Excellency the Governor were on hand on Thursday when the newest RCIPS helicopter arrived on island. The Airbus H-145 arrived at the Island Air hangar where a group of dignitaries were waiting. The purchase of the new RCIPS helicopter was made possible jointly by the Cayman Islands and United Kingdom governments.
Of course, we now have a second helicopter, and it's really important that it gives us greater resilience. And this is a state-of-the-art piece of equipment, and we have that now on the Cayman Islands. So for law enforcement, for medivacs, air and sea rescue, for helping other territories who face natural disasters, we now have this wonderful piece of kit, and I think that's a really positive step forward for the islands.
I just want to pay tribute to the entire team that have worked so hard to get the helicopter here this early. And I have to say to you, I like working with this governor. He helps us get things done in a way I've rarely ever seen. So I'm looking forward to Cayman's increased ability to be an asset to the region, particularly to the other overseas territories, a function which this helicopter will also help us perform. And to be able to have 2 helicopters will mean that we'll be able to have increased surveillance, increased ability to perform rescues at sea and elsewhere, and generally make Cayman, but more broadly the region, particularly overseas territories, safer.
Again, the new aircraft will be used alongside the existing aircraft once it returns to service, and in the meantime will provide vital air support to the RCIPS. The helicopter will boost the force's capability in the areas of search and rescue, law enforcement, and border protection operations. Well, if you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me this week, wishing you a wonderful and a safe weekend, and hoping you'll join us back here again next week. Until then, bye-bye for now. Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Esterly Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct. Did you know that walls, fences located along the road require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that fences and walls within the high water setback require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.